Hello and welcome back to With Sick here. Continuing our 5-part mini-series on financial scandals, let's delve into the third scandal, the ABG Shipyard scandal of India. This incident sent shockwaves through the Indian economy and prompted significant changes in regulations. So join me as we learn about the details of the fraud, its impact, the subsequent regulations, and the valuable lessons we can learn from it. ABG Shipyard was incorporated in 1985 and is one of the leading shipbuilding companies in India. The company has built ships for a number of clients, including the Indian Navy and the Indian Coast Guard. The fraud is alleged to have taken place between 2012 and 2017. During this period, the company is accused of using forged documents to obtain loans from banks. The money was then allegedly used for purposes other than what it was intended for. The ABG Shipyard has been accused of defrauding banks of over rupees 22,842 crores, which is equivalent to 2.8 billion US dollars. The fraud is being investigated by the Serious Fraud Investigation Office, or SFIO. The fraud was first detected by the State Bank of India, or SBI, which is one of the lenders to ABG Shipyard. SBI then filed a complaint with the SFIO. The consequences of the ABG Shipyard fraud were not limited to the company itself. The ripple effects were felt across the Indian economy. Investor confidence plummeted, leading to a decrease in foreign investments. The banking sector, which had extended loans to the company, faced a significant non-performing assets or NPA crisis. This event highlighted the need for robust corporate governance and transparency in reporting, not only for individual companies, but for the stability of the entire economy. The fraud is the biggest bank fraud in India's history. It has led to the introduction of a number of regulations aimed at preventing such frauds from happening in the future. Here are some of the regulations introduced after the ABG Shipyard fraud. Number 1, the Banking Regulation Act 2022. This act strengthens the regulatory oversight of the banking sector by increasing the powers of the Reserve Bank of India, or RBI. The act also makes it more difficult for banks to lend money to risky borrowers. Number 2, the Companies Act 2022. This act improves corporate governance by making it mandatory for companies to have independent directors and by strengthening the rules on disclosure and transparency. Number 3, the Whistleblower Protection Act 2022. This act provides protection for whistleblowers who report corporate wrongdoing. The act also requires companies to have a whistleblowing system in place. Number 4, the Serious Fraud Investigation Office Act 2022. This act strengthens the powers of the Serious Fraud Investigation Office, or SFIO, to investigate financial frauds. These regulations are still in their early stages, but they are a step in the right direction. They are designed to improve the corporate governance practices in India and to prevent future scandals like the ABG Shipyard fraud. In addition to these regulations, there have also been a number of other initiatives to improve corporate governance practices in India. These initiatives include, number 1, the creation of the National Financial Reporting Authority, or NFRA. Now, NFRA is an independent regulator that is responsible for overseeing the quality of financial reporting by companies. Number 2, the establishment of National Corporate Governance Council, or NCGC. NCGC is an advisory body that is responsible for promoting good corporate governance practices in India. These initiatives are aimed at raising awareness of the importance of corporate governance and at providing companies with guidance on how to improve their practices. Here are some of the lessons learned from the fraud. Number 1. The importance of strong corporate governance. The fraud showed that even well-respected companies can be involved in a fraud. This highlights the importance of strong corporate governance practices, such as having independent directors and strong internal controls. Number 2, the importance of regulatory oversight. The fraud also showed that regulatory oversight can be weak. This highlights the importance of having strong regulators who are able to effectively monitor and supervise companies. Number 3, the importance of whistleblowers. The fraud would not have been uncovered without the whistleblowing of a former employee. This highlights the importance of having a culture of whistleblowing in place, where employees feel comfortable reporting corporate wrongdoing. Number 4, the importance of due diligence. The fraud showed that banks did not do enough due diligence on ABG Shipyard before lending money to the company. This highlights the importance of banks doing thorough due diligence on borrowers before lending money. And number 5, the importance of transparency. The fraud showed that ABG Shipyard was not transparent about financial dealings. This highlights the importance of companies being transparent about their financial information. The ABG Shipyard fraud serves as a stark reminder of the far-reaching consequences of financial misconduct. While the incident had a negative impact, the regulatory changes and lessons learned have contributed to a more resilient and accountable business ecosystem in India. Remember, a strong foundation of honesty and integrity is the key to building a prosperous economy. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, stay informed and stay curious.